All right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Look at that, a Purple Rain shirt too. Damn.
Specifically, I got that. I wore this specifically for the show. Shout out Haley for the Christmas present. But
she gave you that shirt?
Oh yeah.
Damn, she's got good taste. Okay.
She's tough, man.
This is right. Well, I know she's
super
tough.
hard.
She's in this stinking business. You can't be soft in our business, bro. You will not last long in our biz if you're soft. That's for sure. You got them feelings. Yeah, you better drop it in this biz, boy. It's gonna run you over and over.
I don't know, man. I'm sensitive too. But I have my creative outlet for my sensitivity is usually just cyberbullying people. I'm gonna be completely honest.
There you go. I like that. Nothing wrong with that. No surprises, obviously, that they're obviously sticking with Tua, but it seems to shock people out there. You know, the funny part is, and now that you saw old ass 45 last night, and you see his ass is done. He needs to go by the way of, Father Time's knocking on your door. This is the part I love about the whole Tua thing. There are no options for you outside of Aaron Rodgers, and they can't trade him because of all the mess that they would be in cap-wise. Plus, you're going to have to give up a whole bunch of picks and all that craziness, which they don't have. So outside of Aaron Rodgers, there isn't a legitimate upgrade anyway. So I don't know how people are so quick on wanting to get rid of the number one rated passer in the NFL. That's the part I find hilarious. Nobody can give me a legitimate answer to who you would replace Tua with anyway.
And that's been my entire argument over the past 2 years has been, it doesn't matter. Like talking to y'all's favorite person in the world, Mina Kimes, last year. She had bars for it last year though, and said it's not about Tua versus Burrow, Tua versus Herbert, Tua versus these people you could have drafted. That doesn't matter anymore. It's about Tua versus the people who are also available, who are realistically available. He's better than any draft pick you're going to get.
Well, she wasn't at last year. She wasn't convinced he could play at this level, at a high level. Let's be honest.
Neither was I.
I know a shit ton of you were wrong about that, but I
wasn't sure that he could. I wasn't sure that he could, but I wasn't ready to say he couldn't. Was my point. My whole point was I haven't seen it over a prolonged period of time. Like I didn't know he could. I haven't seen it over. He had what we're gonna call it 2 games last year where it was like, damn, this dude can sling it. The Jacksonville game and the Atlanta game, and they lost both of them. So like it was kind of like all right, I want to see him be the reason why his team wins. I said it a lot last summer. He proved it. I'm on board. It was that simple. It really is that simple. But it's
a lot of people had doubt that she was one of the absolutes. She was part of what I call the absolutes. I call the people that say, oh, he's too short. Oh, his arm is not strong enough. Oh, he can't run a high-powered offense. Oh, he can't see over the line. The absolutes, she was part of the absolutes. She didn't have any window open.
I think she actually said, like, you could tell the offensive line was a massive issue last year, but like some quarterbacks, bad O-line, bad supporting cast or not, you can tell that they don't have it. And she said it's clear Tua wasn't that kind of player. Like it's clear, like he's got something. Like I think, but same either way. The whole point is like there's nobody, whether it's free agency, whether it's the draft, that you can point at and say this guy's definitively better than the one that we have. Like Caleb Williams ain't walking through that door unless somehow they get the number 1 pick next year and Caleb Williams is available. If you're picking first overall, something went drastically wrong anyway. So yeah, I would say you pick Caleb Williams, but it doesn't matter. It's 2 years away. It's 2 drafts away. There's nobody in this class that's better than him. There's nobody in this free agency that's better than him. Derek Carr, I'm not even entertaining that anymore in these comments. I'm not acknowledging it after this. This is the last time I'm talking about Derek Carr. Garoppolo, no. Because again, you got to part ways with assets to get a guy who is,
and he misses more games than Tua. What are we talking about here?
So yeah, no, and then there's Lamar. And then there's Lamar. Because, on Madden, Lamar and Tyreek and Jalen is a really fun option or offense to run. Sure. Lamar misses a lot of games at the end of the season as well. And you have to pay Lamar now. You have to pay Lamar now. Apart from the assets it takes to go get him, like you have to pay him. So I just don't think it's realistic. I didn't know that this was that much of a debate. Tua is going to be the guy next year. You saw what can happen when everything's going right. The focus this offseason, how do we make sure things keep going right? How do we make sure, like, what is our
debate? The debate raves because a shit ton of people were wrong about his abilities. So now that they're completely wrong that he can play at an incredibly high level, now they have to ride over on the injury side, which is that's his real bugaboo. That was his only bugaboo now that people are noticing. So they need that part to kind of come in and happen for them. So that way it kind of covers their ass that they were wrong that he couldn't play. So that's kind of it's kind of snowballed into that. So that's what you'll have. You'll have the negative people because they need to be right to justify the fact that they were wrong about his abilities. So they say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Either way, he can't stay healthy. So it doesn't matter that I was wrong that he couldn't play. He's a broken down dude anyway. And that's how they're going to feel better about all of this.
I mean, we'll see. I don't agree with him being one concussion away from being done. I don't want to undermine the severity, the gravity of his concussions this year. Like, yes, they were very serious. They were serious enough to end his season effectively because they happened so quickly, back to back, or not back to back, but they happened within such a short time span from one another. It's not like he's like one hit away. It's not like what's that movie, Varsity Blues, right? Where the guy, the centers, they have the concussion tracker on the score. That's not that case, man. Whatever his name is, chat, help me out here. I've only seen that scene. I don't know the movie.
I know what you're talking about, and I'm brain farting too. But go ahead.
It's not that he's not like one hit away. I mean, shit, man. We've seen Steve Young obviously had to retire because of the concussions, but he still had like 6 of them. Mitch Morse has had 6 of them. Like it's not good. Long term, it's not better than not having a concussion, but he's not one hit away from, folding. He's not one hit away from never playing again. Like I think that's dramatic. Now he is going to have to learn, and this is where, shout out Nick Hicks, because this is where you strengthen that neck muscle, man. There's ways to do it. Strengthen the neck so he's not whipping every time he hits the ground. Teach him how to fall. Teach him how to slide. Like, he's going to have to go through some sort of revolution this offseason to change the way he goes down. Because, like, after 3 times, man, it's not just a coincidence that you get ragdolled like that. You're going to have to figure out, like, something is happening. I don't know the specifics. I'm not a physicist here. But people who make a lot more money than me, whose jobs are to protect that guy, are going to have to figure that out, man. Like, you can't keep falling like this. You can't keep hitting the ground like that.
Well, it also... Listen, you will never get to the ground if you just release the goddamn ball. All those injuries are in 4 or 5 second range. I've already documented this on the show over and over again. The last concussion was at 4.81 seconds. It's not only just learning how to fall. Sure, that helps out, dude. I took judo for many years. They teach you how to fall in judo. I get all of that, my brother. But God damn it, bro. It's 2.8 seconds. Make an effing decision and get rid of the ball. More often than not, unless you have Jesse Davis blocking for you, you will not get your ribs crushed more often than not. But if you have Jesse Davis, then yeah, those are the times that you might get hurt because Jesse Davis is a terrible right tackle and he lets a guy go and he busts your ribs right on the snap. Okay, that may happen. But more often than not, his hip, his 2 ankles, his 2 brutal concussions have all come in the 4 to 5 second range. And to me, that's what shows me habitually what you got to stop doing. You're not Mahomes. You're not Russell Wilson, dude. You don't have the durability of Favre. You don't have the size of Josh Allen and Cam Newton. So stop it already, bro. Play like Marino. Play like Breeze. Play like Brady. You're a stiff. You're a statue. Make a quick decision and get rid of the ball. All those guys went to the Hall of Fame and they had no mobility, but they were also really smart at getting rid of the football. And to me, that's really what he's got to learn outside of, yes, of course, falling. Yes, that'll help a little. You know?
Yeah, I don't. The Brady method did not work very well last night.
He's 45.
Brady could have been 35 or 25. Nothing would have helped them. Nothing would have helped them last night.
He can't.
Pass rush was relentless.
Mike Evans. He can't hit Mike Evans when Mike Evans is open, bro. Come on, it's over. It's done. It's over. And by the way, all the idiots that wanted Tom Brady last year, you would have traded for him, and you would have gotten an old man, and you would have ended up trading for your owner, not a player, is what you would have done last year to getting Brady. So everybody that wanted Brady, you were wrong, actually. And if you wanted Brady 2 weeks ago, boy, you're really dumb if you weren't watching this entire season. This has been the season for him. He has missed Mike Evans all over the place. He's off, dude. It's done already for him. He's got to retire.
The entire offense is off, which is kind of confusing since Byron Leftwich has been there for years, and they've been fine the past couple years. I'm not really sure I don't watch the Buccaneers closely enough, but
Byron Leftwich is going to go down with the ship because he's part of the whole thing. He's not really the problem, dude. His quarterback got old on him finally. That's it. It's over, dude. That's it.
But
too much.
Tannehill back into it. I don't know about all that. But no, I mean, I think the issue with this offense I'd like to see changed next year or addressed next year is beating that press man coverage, beating that physicality, because that's where things started to deteriorate. The Chargers set the blueprint for it. I can't even say the Niners set the blueprint because there were so many plays to be made throughout that entire game. But the Chargers set a blueprint where, okay, if you just disrupt the timing a little bit, just a little bit, they don't know how to adjust. They don't know how to adjust. And that falls on Tua, that falls on McDaniel, that falls on Tyreek and Jalen, that falls on them as an entirety here. Like McDaniel, they as an entirety failed down the stretch.
McDaniel for that one. I'm blaming McDaniel for that one, that he wasn't ready.
The offense failed as an entirety down the stretch. And it's the what if question was, again, kind of tongue in cheek. Like I knew the reaction it would get when I said, if Tua was playing ... on Sunday. But I think the real question there is, what if this defense played like that all season? Like if this defense played like that for the past month, for this entire season, then it wouldn't be such a disaster when the offense stopped carrying the entire weight of the team. I think the defense and special teams came around, a day late and a dollar short here. Like they finally hold up their end of the bargain in week 19, technically, wild card week. By then, this offense was deteriorated. They were hurt. They were injured. It was a bad final stretch of the season for them offensively. As far as O-line goes, you're banking on they did what they could, man. Like Teron hurt, Kendall Lamb hurt, Brandon Shell hurt, Austin Jackson hurt, Liam Eichenberg hurt. They kept dropping. They're signing guys off the street and starting them at left guard by the end of the season. Like it was one of those situations where you could say injuries played a toll. Injuries, the season would have had a drastically different outcome if they were able to stay healthy. I can't say that this offensive line was bad because they couldn't hardly get the same five on the field for consecutive weeks. So I think they were really excited about Austin Jackson entering the season. I would expect him to be back in 2023, like back as a starter. Obviously, he's going to be back. I don't think they pick up his fifth year, but I think that I think he's back on the field.
Tua, you don't think they pick up Tua's fifth year?
I said Austin Jackson's fifth year.
Austin Jackson. Oh, yes, definitely not.
No, I have come on the show and I've talked about where I think financially, I don't think I would pick up Tua's fifth year, and it has nothing to do with his ability as a player. It has everything to do with the risk outweighing the reward there. because if he comes out and he does what he did for the first half of this season in 2023, you're signing him long term, and that 5th year doesn't matter anymore. Like you're signing, it's sure the difference between what 8 million, give or take.
Can I counter on that?
Hit me.
You give him the 5th year, okay? It's already guaranteed. So he goes out and balls out this year, and bam, he has a monster year. He stays healthy. You get into the playoffs, maybe wins a game or two in the playoffs. Now you got to give him that $40 million contract. Well, guess what? That $40 million contract will start in the 6th year. So you technically, okay, like see, people will look at it as the negative. They'll say, well, wait a minute, dude, if you tag him now, you're locked into that year. You guarantee you might have to give. What about if he gets injured? Okay, that might be the bad. But the good is if he does ball out and you didn't give him that 5th year, now you got to give him a long-term contract. And Lee Steinberg's going to say, yeah, let's start talking about all these guarantees. Instead, well, we picked up your 5th year. Now we're going to extend you past your 5th year. So you're getting a bargain in that 5th year at $22 million, because if he balls in year 4 and you have to give him a new contract, you're going to be paying him a lot more than 22.
Which makes perfect sense in theory. There's just not much precedent of quarterbacks playing on their 5th year. There's not much precedent. Either after this year, after year 3. And that's why that option exercise comes after year 3. You generally know after this year, because of his injury history and because of the new coaching staff coming in, like he's getting another year. There's, like I said, there's just not much precedent, and I do not think Steinberg Sports and Chris Cabot and Lee Steinberg are going to be very happy if he has to play on that 5th year option in year 5. I think they're going to say, look, man, wait a minute.
You're missing the boat here. If he kicks ass in year 4, doggy, in the
I understand the positives. I understand the pros and the cons here.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. You're not following me. In the off season of between year 4 and 5, you already gave him the option. So he's already going to play on the option. But before he gets to that option year, you have already agreed to a contract extension to that, with guarantees that are coming down the line. So you'll be fine going into that 5th year, because you will have a 6th and a 7th and all that kind of stuff. So you'll feel good about re-signing him. And as a franchise, you save money on his 5th year. So you got him cheap for 4 and then the 5th. And by the way, for a little moment, I really don't give a shit about Lee Steinberg's, feelings if I'm the Dolphins, because I have stood by your client through the injuries. So you're going to have to swallow the 5th year, and he's going to have to play for it, because you got to make up for some of the stuff that he's missed in the past while we stuck with him. So your big money comes in year 6, baby. Like it or not, take it or leave it. We have all the leverage. You don't, Lee Steinberg. So that's it. Too bad, so sad. That's the way I would handle it, because you have all the leverage as long as he's, able to play the game.
It seems a little odd, because from my memory, Greer said they were picking up Wilkins' option last year when we talked to him.
Yes, he did.
He didn't outright say it this year. We got the okie doke. We got the yeehaw, the runaround. We got the nothing's off, everything's on the table.
Why would he tell you guys anything?
He just told us last year when he's doing something. He just did it.
Yeah, but that's with Wilkins. That's like a no-brainer. With this one, there's a whole bunch of other things that are, in play.
That's okay. So that's my point. That it's not a set in stone thing. So it's kind of a volatile argument from both sides from what I see on social media, but it's an argument. There are two sides. There are two sides to this. It isn't like a slam dunk. Of course they do it. Like Mahomes.
I think it's a slam dunk that they do it. There's no doubt, because it makes sense to do it moving forward. It puts your franchise in a more stronger position just in case he does perform. Just like they asked him yesterday, "Oh, you're going to make any changes?" He's not going to tell you if he's going to make any changes. Staff-wise, I understand, because there's extenuating factors. Everybody's got to ask it, but he wasn't. they weren't going to tell you shit yesterday about anything that they're going to do. You know what I mean? It's like, and by the way, he did kind of tell you with the defense.
I expect
All right?
changes on defense. Let's just put
Well,
it
no,
that.
no. There's
But
guaranteed changes coming by the answer. You asked him specifically about Josh Boyer, and he never complimented Josh Boyer directly. He complimented the team, the defense, the players, the coaches, never mentioned Josh Boyer when he was asked specifically about Josh Boyer. He refused to specifically credit Josh Boyer. That's all I need to know. Now, that also means that I like Josh Boyer, but I don't want to overcommit now, because if I find a veteran proven defensive coordinator that's available, it ain't going to be Fangio because it looks like he's going somewhere else. But if there's another guy, I don't want to go crazy on Boyer now and tell people how much I love him. And then I went and got a veteran established guy. So maybe I do love Josh Boyer, but I'm not going to tell you right now. And then that gives me the opportunity of making the changes or not, because he stayed so vague with that answer.
Kind of apples and oranges. Kind of apples and oranges there, just because like other teams can come in and swoop and negotiate. Like when it comes to like picking up your own player's option, like nobody else really has a choice. Like no other team can do anything. So like they don't. You don't lose anything by being. I don't know. I thought it was unnecessarily vague if you've already made your decision. So I don't think that they've made a decision on that yet, which more or less is what we were told. I see the pros. I see the cons. I think that being locked into that 5th-year option, again, has its pros, has its cons. I think it's irrelevant because if you like him, if you know this is your guy, if he does that again, every team counts on a big money contract for their quarterback. So it's not like they're going to be like taken by surprise. Like, oh my God, oh no, we can't afford Tua now. He's good. We wish we had that 5th-year option. Like, no, I think you prepare for situations like this, and you're already getting away with it now because you ideally the recent precedent has been set to where that big contract comes after year 3. So you're already getting an extension on that. You're already getting time to let the salary cap continue to expand and explode. Like as he told us yesterday, man, like we always have flexibility. We always have financial flexibility. How the cap looks this year right now is not how it's going to look before the beginning of the season. So like I just think the 5th year is so irrelevant of a concept that it's not worth locking yourself into if, God forbid, if Tua can't get through another season healthy. Because no matter how good he plays when he's healthy, if he can't get through 2023 healthy, I'm talking a game or 2 missed at absolute max, and it has to be a crazy injury, absolute max, then you can't sign him long term because he has not proved it over the first 4 years.
But if you don't extend him, if you don't pick up the 5th-year option, and he does have a healthy year and he completely balls out, instead of the $22 million, you will be paying $40 million that year. So it's up to you. It's either taking a chance and rolling the dice that he's going to stay healthy and say, well, I'm going to take the chance to stay healthy, and I'm going to take care of my cap a little bit better with $22 million than a $40 million number. You know what I mean? And so that's
why this is still such a debate. Like I said, like that's why it's not just like a layup. Like no shit, we're signing, we're picking up Christian's option.
It's a layup.
It's not like a no-brainer. Like, of course, we're not picking up Noah Igbenogany's 5th-year option.
It's a layup for me. If we're talking Tannehill, then we got an argument, because you're not really giving it to a real franchise player. You're just kind of hoping that he turns like Kyler Murray. Kyler has teased me too, and I think he's a passer, but he has yet to really cross that threshold. But you gave him that deal, which
Kyler Murray gave him the deal because he twisted
Kyler Murray doesn't deserve that deal.
No, but they gave him the deal because he twisted their balls. Like that was a player flexing his own muscle there. He had them in a vice and said, "I dare you not to pay me." They had no choice but to pay him. I don't think Tua's that kind of guy.
They had a choice. Force him to play on a 5th-year tag, and if he's any good, then you tag him again. You can control
I
them that
mean,
way. Now,
ironically, I was
they
going to
paid
say
them.
it would be.
Listen. They paid them because they're pussies, and they knew they had a petulant little punk, and that's why they were going to lose him because he's not really a professional yet,
Well,
and he has
balls and advice. That sounds
okay?
about. It's more or less what semantics here. Semantics here. That's basically what I said. He had them in advice. If you're not a pushover of a front office, then you can't. Then your huevos are not in position to be grabbed by your starting quarterback like that. Like you can't be dominated by your starter if you're not a pushover front office. They are.
You can't put a
did the
study
move.
clause and then take it out. I mean,
He did the move. Like they presented him and they signed him. Like that's what happened here, man. Like if you're a tough front office, like you're not in position for that to happen. Like I said, I think the fifth year it's just so irrelevant. Like I think if he's healthy, he's as good as he was this year or better. Like you're gonna pay that and call it the cost of doing business. You know what I mean? You sign him to 40, 45, whatever the hell it's gonna be. You wipe your hands, you let the ink dry. Again, cost of doing business. That's a starting quarterback salary in the NFL.
And by the way, Bromar, Adam Beasley was right. Dolphins are taking a big gamble with Tua. Bromar, Adam Beasley doesn't know jack shit. He said Tua can't play. So he was wrong already. He's part of those kind of people that was wrong about his ability. He doesn't get to talk about the other stuff that's obvious. The injury stuff came from Alabama. Okay? That's why I said when he came out of college that you can't trust his body. He's a hell of a player, but you can't trust his body, right? The difference is Adam Beasley's got to lean on sensationalism, and since he was wrong about the player and the ability of the player, now he chooses to go after the injuries. Okay, so let's just call things like we see it, Bromar. If you got no balls, Bromar, which you obviously have no balls, that's the problem there. So, and also you probably didn't do your homework, but you want to be lazy and give somebody credit who's actually being lazy himself at the same time. Okay. So let's just call shit like we see it. Because there's a lot of guys even on with us that didn't think he could play, and they were wrong too. Okay. So, and I tell them that they were wrong. That's the difference. You know, I'm not a phony. I'll tell you when you're freaking wrong, right to your face. That's the difference. Okay. So Adam Beasley has zero credibility in this case. All right. And he can't say that they took a chance on X, just like most of the media members, including the guy that's on with me. You can't say you took a chance on X because 2 years ago, when I'm saying now's the time to unload X, nobody agreed with me.
Wait, hold on. I wasn't here 2 years ago. Don't put that on me. I was not. I was thinking about.
You didn't say to trade X 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Not
10 interceptions. You did not say to trade X. You did not say that.
I wasn't here. I didn't start coming on the show till last year.
I know, but what I'm saying,
January 2022.
But did you say to trade X after the 10 interceptions?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't my team to cover. I didn't care. Don't put that on me. Don't put that. Don't include. I feel like that 50 Cent. What are you saying?
We'll let you off the hook. We'll let you off the hook. Right, let me ask you something here. Let's get to reality, okay? Because the idiots out there, at least you're in reality. There's no replacing Tua. There's no options out there to replace Tua. So
no, you're not replacing Tua.
But you got to replace Teddy. And Skyler has not done enough to be a number 2. You and I have to agree on that, right? You agree on that, right? He's still a project 3, right? Still.
Yeah, that's where this is going to be. That's where it's going to be kind of confusing this offseason. I think they're high enough on him that I don't expect another Teddy level backup signing next year. I think that you bring somebody who's going to compete with Skyler. I think you're getting like kind of the same level in, because like the problem with Skyler is not the physical. It's not the physical talent. Like I said, physically he is what he is. He is what he's going to be. It's up here. So in theory, in time, by the time next training camp comes around, that processing clock has sped up and he can make these quicker decisions. It's not like he can throw the ball. He's mobile. He's athletic enough. Like he's a fine quarterback. He's a fine backup. It's just, it's up here. It's up here. Totally. So like, that's why I don't know because you can't just keep having 3 quarterbacks on your active roster forever.
I think with Tua, you're stuck with that. I believe with Tua, you have to have 3 quarterbacks until he goes on a run of 2-3 years of finally figuring things out, getting rid of the ball, not taking
Well,
nearly as
look,
many
two
snaps
two on your
then
two
you
three
can say
quarterbacks,
we have 2. But
two on your active, two on your active, one on your practice squad. Like
no,
that's
because
how that's how it is. But that's how it always is.
no, I know you're right. I just think in their case, they're stuck with 3 because of the whole Tua situation. You have to kind of protect yourself and be a
Well,
developmental guy. And I guess the question I was going to ask you was useless then, because I think they got to go after either a Minshew, a Cooper Rush, an Andy Dalton, a Taylor Heineke, a Joe Flacco, and a Sam Darnold. I'm not a Baker guy, so I left Baker out. But if you want to include him there, if you were going to replace Teddy with a more proven guy, and one of the things I told Poupart, I think you're going to be one of the sexy destinations for backup quarterbacks because no state tax, a beautiful offense that has incredible weapons, and a
and
starting quarterback that's going to miss some games because
that's the
that's the way
one. I was
it should be.
I was
No,
about to say we're leading up. We're leading up.
but you know
But
the
yeah,
no
that's
state
the big one.
tax and the offense being able to put up stats, that's important to them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Obviously,
no,
the
it's
opportunity,
not insignificant. It's not
right?
insignificant. But yeah, it's an attractive job because you get, especially for guys who are trying to rebuild their image as a starter, like a Darnold or a Baker or maybe a Heineke. I think Minshew, that ship has sailed. Heineke, it's probably sailed as well. Let's be real.
You
But
think
so
so?
Darnold,
Why do you say? Why do you say that Minshew and Heineke? Why? Why do you say
I
that?
think they're backups. I don't think they're starters. I don't think any amount
Well,
of
this is
extended play time is going to convince a team that this is a starting multiple year starting quarterback.
yeah, but you're
Minshew,
worried
first
about
of all, already had a shot.
you're worried about the Dolphins. The Dolphins are looking at it, and you're those
No,
guys.
no, 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 no. I don't think you understood what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, especially if you're a guy who's trying to rebuild their image as a starter, I'm saying that ship has sailed for Minshew and Heineke. But a guy like Darnold, who he plays well enough in spurts that people aren't ready to bury that narrative. That's a then yeah, this is an attractive fit. This is an attractive fit. Uh,
Which one would you sign if you could get one of the backups? Which one do you like?
Darnold
And
probably.
you could throw Baker in there if you like Baker. I don't know.
Probably, I would say probably Darnold.
Interesting.
I don't know about Baker. Is just going to be too much. It's going to be too much conversation nationally. It's just going to be too much of a distraction. I don't feel like doing this whole song and dance again. I think like Darnold. I think people will accept like, yeah, this is a backup quarterback. He's going to get a couple opportunities to shine. Yada yada yada. But like, he's quiet enough of a personality, and he's quiet enough like in terms of the allure around him that it's not going to be this circus when he comes in. And that's unfair a little bit to Baker because like, but it's the persona that he has built for himself. Like it's not like people did this for him. It's not like, oh, he's just quiet and everybody's talking for him. Like I feel like a lot of people talk for Odell when he doesn't necessarily do a lot of talking himself off the field. Like his persona has been artificially manufactured. I don't think that's the case with Baker. I think Baker built his own house here and he's got to live in it. But I would probably say Darnold. But like I said, I just think I think that they believe in Skyler enough. I think they believe in his physical talent enough, and that he just was a rookie this year. Like it's not like he was a bad. I can't say he was just a bad player. Like oh wow he sucks. It was just no. He just looks like a rookie that you know wasn't having to operate offenses like this at Kansas State. Was able to use his athleticism and hang on to the ball and extend plays forever at Kansas State, but that's not necessarily the same exact thing. It's not a A to A fit here. It's not it's not a seamless transition to the NFL. He just looked like he wasn't ready to be playing like that yet. So I think they believe in it. If that clock can speed up, he is fine as a backup. He is fine in an emergency. Thompson is fine. It's fine. He can go out. He can go out there and win you. He can go out there and win you a game.
That clock has to speed up, bro.
It has to speed up. It has to speed up. Don't get me wrong. So, like, I'm not saying no competition next year. Bring in a quarterback. Bring in 2. Shit. Draft a quarterback late. I don't care. Bring in some competition for him. Not without a doubt, the job is not his in a like it's not cemented, it's not written in stone. But I think that if that clock speeds up, he is fine if you need him to go win you one game. He just did it.
Yeah.
If you need him to go win you one game, he just did it.
I just thought about this. The potential for Baker commercials. He's on the gondola. He's playing tennis. He's sliding down the
Please,
slide.
no more Baker commercials like that. That is the reason why I stopped liking Peyton Manning's, because I kept seeing him everywhere, and I don't need to see Peyton everywhere.
Yeah, but
I like him now. Let me be clear with coworkers. I like him now. But like,
Clark, I mean, it's endless the amount of commercials we can do with Baker on that property. Like Cleveland was a boring site. It just had a stadium, you know. The key code was just one number, 6. You know, this is here you could do a lot of things on this property. I think that, there's a lot of potential. Now I was thinking about this, not Baker the quarterback. I'm just thinking Baker the commercials. Could be a lot.
Yeah, your backup quarterback ain't getting commercials, bro.
No.
I feel like that's something like if they come in, they'll be like, hey, none of that.
By the way, do you believe that that Tom Brady should retire? Just out of curiosity.
Probably should have retired last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you still have a wife then. So that's how it goes. All right, what do you got going on ESPN so folks can check you out, my brother?
We're working on a long form piece on Mike McDaniel's first season. Matter of fact, I need to open up the edits to that and read it, put a bow on it now that the season is over. That's hopefully coming out either by the end of this week or early next week. And then, man, ideally, y'all ain't gonna hear from me except on this show twice a week. I am ready to chill. I'm ready. This is we got 2 dead periods. You get 2 dead periods every offseason, right? There's that space between whenever your team is their season ends and the NFL Combine. That's about a month. And then there's after minicamp and between minicamp and training camp. That's the real dead period where there ain't shit going on. Now, like there's still the All-Star games. You get the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl. I'm not going to either of those though.
I'm not going to see you in Mobile, bro. Come on.
I'm going to Mobile, bro. They are going to have to tell me go to Mobile or you're fired for me to go to Mobile. That's not my city, bro. Like I hate being there. And I don't think McDaniel and Greer are even going or they're talking. So
no, Greer always talks in the Senior Bowl. All GMs talk in the Senior Bowl.
You telling me? You're telling me? I'm telling you. I don't believe he's talking. Like I was told he's not talking. Like don't expect them to talk.
So this is the first time they stopped doing it because they do it every year. Like on Wednesday, usually is the practice in between the two.
I've walked by. I've literally walked by the Dolphins beat, talking to Greer, like a little table session at that old stadium. The old stadium. I haven't been to the new one in Mobile.
Lad Peebles.
Yeah, Lad Peebles. Look, man, like it's cool for what it is, I guess, but like I just like every time I
don't know how you don't like going there.
Every time I think of it, I just get exhausted, man. I just get exhausted.
It's my favorite week when I would cover the NFL. It's the only time I can corner all these dudes with no pressure, bro. There's no season, no nothing. Oh, man, the conversations you can have with people, I love it at the Senior Bowl, bro. Oh, I disagree with you.
Like it has its value. I just don't want to go. I didn't say it doesn't have value. I just don't like. I don't like going. It's a pain in the ass to get to Mobile. There's nothing to do in Mobile, so you go to the same 3 super packed bars at the end of the night. I forget what they're called, but there's like one in the lobby of a hotel. That's cool.
Yeah, inside the Riverview Hotel in the lobby, and then across the street at Veets.
There's a Veets. That's it. I met Therese Baylor for the first time at Veets.
I'm the mayor of Mobile. Remember that. I'm the mayor of Mobile. So,
if you venture a little bit out of those hotspots, man, then you're talking about like bars where you're smoking cigarettes in the bar. or people are smoking cigarettes in the bar. You're going with the townies everywhere. It's just a weird vibe of a city, man. Give me the combine 10 times out of 5, man.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that is.
I like the combine too. A little bit more intense. Guys are a little bit more wound up a little bit in the combine. A little less time they have sometimes. They don't hang out. I haven't been there in 3 years now because of the whole pandemic. I'll be going back finally this year, but over the 20 years that I went, less and less would go out because of cameras.
Yeah, but I mean, last year I met a lot of the Dolphins coaching staff before they were introduced. Like I met Wes Welker out. I had conversations with Wes Welker. I had conversations with Frank Smith. I had conversations with Mike McDaniel just out and off the record. Man, he had this joke, man. He had this joke when we're at Prime, right? And this is the only story I'm going to tell just because it's a little taboo, but it's funny. And I asked him because I had just sat down with him one-on-one after he was hired. I was like, "You got those? You still got those red bottoms on? You still got those red bottom sneakers on?" And he goes, "Yeah, man. Like one of my favorite things to do is like when I'm walking by, I ask people, 'Oh, hey, do I have something on the bottom of my shoe?' And then he lifts the shoe up, and sure enough, it's just like the red bottom sneaker. Like it was just, and then just walks off to the bathroom. Like he's a funny guy. Like those are the situations that you love to that you love to be in. That's why I find value in the combine. Not to mention, it's like summer camp, dude. Like I see people from across the country. I see Mike Dugar. I see Tashawn Reed. I see Charles McDonald. You know what I mean? Like I see Richard Johnson. I see Jordan Reed. I see all my friends from around the league, around the country, combining in there. So like, give me the combine over the Senior Bowl, please. Although I do like the fried oysters, not the fried oysters, the char grilled oysters at Winchell's in Mobile.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the saving grace. Go check it out.
Winchell's is good, definitely. I've had plenty of Winchell's. Do you think Tashawn Reed would have enjoyed covering the Seminoles this year more than the Raiders?
No. God, no. That man.
I know they were better. They were actually better. That's why I was saying they were actually better.
If that man, there is no amount of money that would get that man to return to Tallahassee in any capacity. They hated him and he hated them. I don't think I'm breaking news here for anybody who knows. I don't think I'm breaking much news here. Nah. That man did not have nice things to say about Tallahassee, and they did not treat him well.
He is living in Vegas, so that can't be too bad, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
he's the mayor of Vegas. We were out there last year. He got us into me and Daniel got us into Omnia, no charge. Like, that's my guy.
He's a good dude, bro. Good dude, man. I'm happy for him. They actually got a couple good guys on that beat, on that Raiders beat. So it's actually an interesting beat. They just need to get an interesting team going over there. And that is a nice stadium, I will say, bro. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN. Marcel, as always, thank you, my friend. We'll catch up later on in the week.
Yes, sir. See you on Thursday.
Thank you. Don't forget, myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. I tell you this all the time. I've been telling you this for about a year now, right? myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIGO. You will get 10% off. Get it delivered to your home, delivered to your business. Support the great people that support us. Edge energy drink. And as an elixir, it is off the chain. I love mixing it with my Grey Goose. It's usually how I like to have my drinks. Usually is with a little. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I haven't had any vodka straight up in a while since I got Edge. Ever since I got Edge in my life, I use Edge all the time to mix it up with my vodka. Sometimes I would use it with cranberry, but now I use it with the Edge energy drink, and it is so good. Great elixir. Check it out for yourself. myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste, unlike most of those other energy drinks out there, and only 78 calories. That's the other thing. myedgedrink.com and use our code BIGO. Get 10% off.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.